Good afternoon. Good afternoon and welcome to the 2019 Cox Inspirational Student Hero Awards. My name's David Delliman. I have the pleasure of serving as the Market Vice President for Cox here in Northwest Florida, and want to extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you today as we celebrate the amazing accomplishments of these student heroes. If you will, please stand. We'll begin today with the pledge to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. When our company's founder, Governor James M. Cox, started Cox more than 120 years ago, he knew he had to take care of those who came behind him. Being a former school teacher himself, Governor Cox pledged to give back to students in the communities we serve and make sure they have the tools necessary to receive a quality education. Fast forward to today, and you'll see the Cox family living that same pledge. Today's students really are tomorrow's future. In this room, we have future community leaders, doctors, lawyers, teachers, electricians, and maybe even a superintendent of schools. Sometimes, though, kids, just like adults, hit obstacles in their lives. Today, we'll recognize 52 students from across Escambia County who not just have hit an obstacle, but overcame those obstacles while still maintaining a positive attitude. These heroes have endured unthinkable challenges in their life, yet they come to school each day with their heads up, smiles on their faces, inspiring those around them. It's a privilege for all of us at Cox to honor these student heroes. We started this program in our New Orleans market 26 years ago, and today we're proud to honor heroes all across the Southeast U.S. These 52 students we recognize today will join an elite list of Cox heroes who continue to inspire the people they encounter every day. Their positive attitudes that they display on a daily basis provide a little extra sunshine on those around them. Today, we turn the spotlight back on them, the heroes. On behalf of all of our Cox employees locally, thank you for taking time to join us today for this celebration, and congratulations to each of our heroes. At this time, I'd like to turn the program over to Cam Johnson from Cox's Public and Government Affairs team.
Thank you, David, and thank you to everyone for being here today. This is a great event that we look forward to each and every year, but it cannot be done without the cooperation and the help from the schools and, of course, the Escambia County School District. And with that, I would like to invite up to the microphone Superintendent of Schools Malcolm Thomas to say a few words. Mr. Superintendent.
Thank you, and thank you to Cox for once again sponsoring this celebration. You know, we live in a world that loves to celebrate heroes. The problem is, when the world celebrates heroes, they often look in the wrong place to find the hero. They think the hero is the rap music star of hip hop, or the person who can be the headliner of a movie, or someone who can have a gold record that can be celebrated and played on all the music stations. But as you're going to find out today, those people, they're celebrities, but they're not real heroes. Heroes are those people that can find themselves in the middle of a storm, find themselves all of a sudden having to deal with extreme adversity, and they find a way to make it through, to pick up one foot and just somehow put it in front of the other one and move forward, even though all the odds seem to be against them. And that's who we're going to celebrate today, the real heroes. Cox heroes, those students that have faced adversity, you have faced tough stuff, and you have shown us who comes out on the other side as a winner and as a hero. And for you, I celebrate you and applaud your accomplishment. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Thomas. We also have a few other special guests that I'd like to welcome and thank for attending today. First, from the Escambia County School District, is Mr. Bill Slaton. Mr. Slaton, thank you so much for being here today. County Commissioner Robert Bender. Also, County Commissioner Jeff Burgash. Representing Congressman Matt Gates' office, we have Sara Lefevers. And I'd also like to welcome our Vice President of Government and Public Affairs. She drove over from Baton Rouge, Louisiana to be with us today, Ms. Fran Gladden. You know, Mr. Thomas just kind of stole some of my thunder that I was going to say, but he is exactly right. We see the so-called superheroes every day, whether they're on the big screen right now fighting a army from outer space, or they're playing on the baseball diamond every day. People get called heroes, but as Mr. Thomas said, they are not exactly hero. That term does get tossed around quite a bit. Heroes definitely bring us joy. They inspire us. Heroes keep our spirits up, and they keep the spirits up of everyone who comes in contact with them. I actually opened up the Webster's Dictionary, had to blow a little dust off of it today, but it defined a hero as a person who has been admired for their achievements and one who shows great courage. And I think that is what we're definitely going to see today. Students that have shown that great courage as they've gone through their hardships in their life. These students have endured hardships, but today we're going to celebrate their successes. And we're going to celebrate them for not only enduring those hardships, but doing it with a smile on their face and doing it while encouraging those around them. These students might not be an all-star athlete, they might not be the valedictorian, but they're inspirations to everyone around them, and they deserve the spotlight. So with that, we're going to get on with the awards. Each student will be called to the stage in order from A to Z, this year. We mixed it up last year, but we're going to go back in alphabetical order. On the back of the badge that the student received is a number. That is the number in which we're going to be called up. I'm going to be calling the students up along with their presenters in groups of 10. When I call your group up, you're going to go to your left, my right. Ms. Kristen and Ms. Mary are going to help you guys line up. We'll call the student and the presenter up to the stage. We ask that the presenter, of course, stand here at the podium and say whatever nice words you have to say about the student. We ask that the student stand to the left of the podium so that we can, everybody in the crowd can see him, the photographer and the video camera as well can see. As David mentioned, we do have 52 heroes today. That is a record for Escambia County. We have never had 52 heroes, and that is outstanding. We are happy to celebrate each and every one of you. But it is 52 heroes, so we do ask that the presenters keep your comments brief. Please share the story, but we do ask that you keep your comments brief. Some of the stories will be more in-depth. Some of the stories won't have as much detail. We want you to share what you and your student are comfortable with. Following that presentation, the student will then step over to the side where we have the Cox Heroes banner. They will receive a medallion that has their name, their school in 2019 on the back. And we're also going to present them with certificates of achievement from Cox, Congressman Gates, and State Senator Doug Broxson as well. And then we have a sweet treat for them to take home this year before they walk off. And before I forget, also, they're going to get their picture taken. If the student can stay, we're going to actually print the picture out while they stand there so they can have it to take home with you today. So I'm going to ask that numbers 1 through 10 make your way to the left side of the room to Miss Kristen and Miss Mary. Go ahead and line up numbers 1 through 10 with your presenter. I will go ahead and apologize in advance if I mispronounce your name. I'm sure I'm going to do it a couple times throughout the event today, but again, I want to apologize if I do mispronounce your name at all while we go through today's event. And if we're good with number 1, do we have number 1 ready? All right. From A.K. Suter Elementary School, our first hero of the day is Joseph Thomason, and he's going to be introduced by Russell Queen.
Hi, my name is Mrs. Kenyatta Evans, and I am Joseph's 3rd grade teacher. Joseph is a 3rd grade student at A.K. Suter Elementary School. Despite numerous obstacles he's faced, Joseph, at a young age, has strived and continues to strive to be the best that he can be. During his time at Suter, Joseph has shown himself to be a loving, compassionate, and dedicated student. He is always smiling and has kind words for students and staff alike. Joseph comes to school each day with a positive and helpful attitude.
Just real quick, Joseph was placed in an Access Points curriculum class in kindergarten in Santa Rosa County, and through hard work and dedication of his family, Joseph has worked his way out to general education with just some little support, and we're all very, very proud of him.
Our next hero to be recognized is from Bellevue Elementary School. Shannon Jackson is going to tell us why Rebecca Dortch is their hero.
Unfortunately, Rebecca is not with us today. She is sick, but she is actually a great example of an overcomer. She has faced a lot of heartache and trials and tribulations in her short life. She has lost both of her parents, her mom 2 years ago, and her dad lost the battle with cancer in the fall. She comes to school with a smile on her face and just brings joy to everyone she encounters. We need more students with that kind of attitude. Thanks.
And Tex Jones is the hero from Bellevue Middle School. Tara Palaciano will tell us why.
Good afternoon. Tex, unfortunately, is not here with me today, but I do have a little bit of his story to share. He came to us in the 6th grade from Montclair Elementary, and he's currently an 8th grader with us. And each summer we do ask elementary schools to let us know of students that may need some supports behaviorally, just based off of what was seen in elementary school. We were encouraged to give Tex a mentor. He would become very frustrated and very angry easily at different situations. And just the other day, he even said to me, I was very childish and angry when I was a kid. So we gave him his mentor, Mr. Aki, our choral director. And we did that on the first day of school. And gradually, Tex has begun to blossom. He's soft-spoken and he's patient. He's kind and he's loving to his classmates. And Mr. Aki wanted me to share this about Tex. Directly to Tex, he wants to say, you are a natural leader, and I'm honored to have helped play a part in your development. You have made strides since the first day of middle school, onward and upward through your wishes and dreams. I am proud to say that Tex Jones is our Cox hero for Bellevue Middle School.
One thing I did forget to mention, if all the heroes could please stay until the end of the program, we are going to do a group shot at the end. So if you could please stay until the end of the program for a group photo up front. Eddie Wilkerson, teacher from Beulah Elementary School, will now introduce us to their hero, Ashton Young.
Ashton Young is a well-mannered young man who leads by example in the classroom. He is always in a good mood and tries his best in everything that he does. Despite the challenges Ashton faces on a daily basis, he always has a smile on his face and gives his best effort. Ashton influences me on a personal level each day to be the best that I can be. He is an inspiration to all that he meets because of his effort, smiling face, regardless of the day or situation, and his desire to be the best that he can be. I often use Ashton as an example in the classroom for the students to see what can be accomplished via hard work, effort, and doing each task to the best of one's ability. Each Monday, I have the students write their vocabulary words and definitions 3 times each. Despite it taking Ashton extended time, he completes it every night as well as his other homework throughout the week. This helps others in his class. This helps teach others in his class that don't have the challenges he faces every day, that anything can be accomplished through hard work and determination. Not only is Ashton an inspirational hero to his classmates, he is an inspirational hero to myself as well, and more than deserving of this nomination and award.
Beulah Middle School's Jacob Botsford is our next hero, and Gary Lincoln's going to tell us more.
In 2015, Jacob had a life-threatening seizure and was diagnosed with epilepsy. That's the bad news. The good news is this young man has not let himself be defined by those events. Let me tell you a little bit more about him. Jacob Botsford has become a leader and an asset to our school. He's always ready to pitch in if a student or an adult needs help with a project. As a student assistant in the media center, some days he practically runs the circulation desk. He serves as a mentor and a trainer to other student assistants. He's kind, caring, sensitive. He is a role model for our younger students. Jacob has a keen sense of when another student is having a bad day or is upset. When that happens, he does whatever he can to encourage that student. This positive attitude is infectious. I am blessed and honored to present Jacob Botsford as Beulah Middle School's very first Cox Inspirational Hero.
Brenly Bennett is the hero from Blue Angel Elementary School, and Jamie Dufferina has her story.
Brynlee is a beautiful girl. She's beautiful inside and out. She's smart, capable, kind, helpful, honest, and a joy to be around. She's made a lot of progress this year. While these things are true now, they were not always that way. When Brynlee was in kindergarten, her beloved mother passed away. She lost her paternal grandfather just this past November. She's lost her maternal grandmother and a cousin. She struggled a lot. She's had a lot of trouble focusing in class. And just these past few months, she's turned things around. She started to realize that she can raise her hand, she can contribute to class discussions, she can look at her homework, she can look at her classwork, and she can find the answers to the problems that she's missed. She's always had a good heart, and she only recently found one of her true purposes in life, and that is to help others, just like she was helped. Brynlee shared her story with our class of how she struggled and how she's turned things around despite the challenges that she faced. Her attitude has changed in a big way. I am confident that she is on the right road for a great future. It is my great honor to present the Cox hero from Blue Angels Elementary, Morgan Brenly Bennett.
Bratt Elementary School's Reese Stearns will now be introduced by Linda Jackson.
Reese Stearns has great character and drive to do his best. He is always looking to help others and willing to lead or follow, whichever is the best choice for the situation. He works diligently in all that he attempts and is willing to take chances in order to expand his knowledge or his skill set. Over the years, Reese has struggled in some academic tasks. He did not give up or expect less of himself. Instead, he kept trying. And through high expectations of himself, he is now an honor roll student. All of this is possible because Reese does not give excuses. He gives his best effort in the classroom. Reese is also a caring neighbor. He has developed a love for cooking and strives for perfection in the kitchen. He loves to cook for his family and sometimes reaches out to neighbors by delivering his treats to them. He is respectful, kind, friendly, and fair when interacting with both peers and adults. His attitude toward learning makes him a joy to teach. He is well-rounded, hardworking, and an excellent student, and I am very proud of him. Congratulations, Reese.
Alicia Strong is Brentwood Elementary's hero, and Emma Angel is going to tell us more.
Hello. Alicia came to Brentwood in October. It was her first time in public school in 4 years. She had to adjust to a plethora of changes. So many new things were new to her. She didn't know any of our rules or procedures, and she didn't know any of the students or her way around the school, but she adapted flawlessly. Academically, she started off struggling since she was behind, but she believed in herself the entire way, always asked for extra work, what she could do to help, and she started to catch up very quickly. It was not easy and it took lots of work, but she is now an AB Honor Roll student. At the same time she was working so hard academically, she stepped out of her comfort zone and made friends with everybody in the class. When she first came, she was very shy, so that was a big thing. But she established herself as the girl that everybody wanted to be friends with because she was so kind and so positive and always had good things to say. She captured the hearts of many teachers, including all of the 5th grade teachers, the librarian, the guidance counselor, and countless others. And she's also an advocate for anti-bullying. She's always making sure that anybody who's picked on, that's taken care of, and that anybody who's picked on, they have their voices heard, because she is an advocate for that. She lifts the spirits of anyone in class if they're feeling discouraged. And she may have struggled at first, but she really shows how persevering pays off. And she's just a motivation to everybody. So she is very deserving of this award.
Before we meet our next hero, I ask number 11 through 20. Go ahead and line up on the left-hand side of the room with your presenter, numbers 11 through 20. And next to the stage is Gary Lee Jr. He's a hero from Brown Barge Middle School. Jennifer Brummett is going to share his story.
Gary is a very diligent and earnest student who has managed to grow and flourish throughout his career at Brown Barge Middle School, despite overwhelming circumstances and major decisions in his young life. I love that Gary is always looking for the student who needs a friend or a shoulder to lean on. He's a great listener and advocates for himself and others. Hardships in his personal life have made him sensitive to the world around him, and he shows empathy and compassion that surpass his years. Gary is the oldest of 3 brothers. When Gary was in the 5th grade, his youngest brother was diagnosed with aplastic anemia. The doctors informed the family that in order to save the little boy's life, a bone marrow donor would be needed. The doctors found that Gary was a perfect match. The first attempt was unsuccessful, and Gary faced guilt and the feeling that somehow it was his fault. Thankfully, a second attempt proved to be successful, and Gary's brother is healthy today. This series of events shaped Gary's outlook on life, and he fights daily to direct his thoughts and emotions down a productive path. Brown Barge Middle School is happy to recognize Gary Lee as this year's Cox Hero.
D. Wolf Sullivan will now introduce us to Burnville Elementary's hero, Emily Carter.
Emily Carter has been selected to represent Burnville Elementary Charter School as our Cox Inspirational hero. Emily came to our school as a repeater of 1st grade. She was a struggling reader and lacked confidence. Over the years, Emily has gained confidence and has improved her reading skills greatly, increasing her fluency from 79 words correct per minute to over 100 words correct per minute. Despite struggling academically, she has remained focused and is the student who will never give up. Emily made it her personal goal to make honor roll this, her 5th grade year, and she did it. She is a friend to all and carries herself with such humbleness and kindness that other students gravitate to her. She is the first to ask other students if they want to be in her group for group projects. Oftentimes, these students are the ones who have challenges of their own. She knows from experience what it is like to struggle, and her heart wants to help others. For all these reasons and so many more, we are proud to have Emily represent us as our Cox hero.
Camelot Academy named Linda Brewster their hero, and Gabrielle Uberoff tells us more.
So in 2013, Linda was diagnosed with leukemia. I have the honor and the privilege of being her guardian because not only has she faced leukemia, but she also is in the foster care system. And to say that I am proud of her is an understatement. I'm trying not to get emotional. But she has just such a joy and a passion for people, and every morning, despite the pain that she's been through, she wakes up with a smile on her face and gets on the bus and goes to school. And not only has she improved in the home, but she's also come leaps and bounds in school, and she's now what Camelot calls a tiger shark. So she is an elite member of a group at Camelot that is leaders of the school, and they're able to teach the other students how they can overcome things and just grow and succeed in school. So I'm very proud of her.
Lulla Wilson is the hero from Cordova Park Elementary School. Jamie Kane is going to tell us what makes her so special.
Lulla is a positive, self-motivated, bubbly young lady. She is full of energy and always has a smile to brighten everyone's day. Lulla's attitude toward learning is contagious. She's eager and excited for each new day. All of this contributes to her overcoming obstacles in her year and a half at Cordova Park. Since moving to Pensacola, she has become an NEP Wildcat cheerleader, a member of our school's jogging club, violin class, and contributes to our community by volunteering. Although learning and being in a new learning environment was tough, her perseverance and optimistic nature have led her to her success. Her willingness to help others is apparent when teaching others that everyone has their own unique abilities that need to be embraced and celebrated.
Ernest Ward Middle School's Nancy Perry will now introduce us to their hero, Olivia Bush.
Good evening. Ernest Ward Middle School is welcome. We have the privilege of welcoming Olivia Bush. I want to say a few words about Olivia. First of all, her dad and her mom trusted me with her. She was at Lipscomb Elementary and they moved into our district. I also taught her dad. So, second generation here, but I want to explain a little bit. Olivia was born at 22 weeks. I think still she may be the youngest surviving. Is that correct, Tad? She's the second youngest surviving. At 22 weeks she was born, which left her both blind and deaf, hard of hearing. She made it through elementary school, and then in 6th grade, she had seizures from being that she was so young. Born so young, she had terrible seizures. In 6th grade coming in, Olivia had surgery at UAB that literally they cut her brain into. And it disconnected the side of the seizures. When it did, it left her totally paralysis on her right side of her body, and she was right-handed. So it was like having a stroke. We knew, her parents knew, and I knew that the odds that she may never use her right side again. And I present you today, Olivia Bush, our hero. She told me I had to tell you that she still beats me up the stairs. We race.
Bethenny Griffin is the hero from Escambia High School, and Laura Tate is going to tell us her story.
Escambia High School is proud to present Miss Bethenny Michelle Griffin as our Cox Hero recipient. Bethenny has overcome many learning, speech, and language difficulties and will graduate this month with over a 3.0 GPA. Bethenny conducts herself with integrity, and despite losing multiple dear relatives in a very short period of time, Bethenny has shown grace and dignity. She quietly leads her peers by example. Her teachers describe her as someone who is trustworthy and dependable and dedicated to her work. Her peers describe her as kind and helpful. Bethenny always has a smile and a positive attitude. She consistently maintains above average grades and works diligently to achieve her goals. Her diligence and strength are evidence of her supportive family. She is bright, quick-witted, and willing to help others. She intends to attend college, and we know that she has a very bright future ahead of her. Bethenny, it is my honor to present you as the Cox Hero for Escambia High School.
Ferry Pass Elementary School named Alexa Mendoza their hero. Lisa Moss is going to tell us why.
Our Cox hero, Alexa Mendoza. Alexa Mendoza is an amazing student who comes in each day with a positive attitude, welcoming each challenge throughout the day. She organizes her tasks in order to prioritize her time so that she can complete all assignments and study for the next day's lessons. Since Alexa comes from a Spanish-speaking home, she has taken initiative to bridge the gap between home and school by translating all notes and information for her family. This provides opportunity for her family to be actively involved in her education. At the beginning of the year, Alexa came into my classroom, which is her teacher that's not here today due to illness. She came into my classroom a little shy, but then had learned to exude confidence and become a leader. This is clearly seen in our math small group time when Alexa teaches others in her group how to solve mathematical problems. She is a great source of encouragement and an inspiring role model for others and for others to follow. Ms. Pantaleo. Now, it is my honor to say, Alexa, congratulations on being our hero for Ferry Pass and representing Escambia County. Thank you.
Christina Swift from Ferry Pass Middle School will now tell us why they selected Lea Mendoza, their hero.
All right, I am Christina Swift. I've been Lea's orchestra teacher for the past 3 years, actually, so I've had the pleasure of knowing her for 3 years and watching her grow from a cute little 6th grader all the way to a grown, beautiful 8th grader. Lea is a very inspiring, positive, and motivating young lady, despite having a learning disability and a language barrier. She was actually having some issues with English because Spanish is the primary language spoken at home. She has now improved so much that she helps her other family members learn English. Not only does Lea work hard to keep up her grades, she also participates in the school swim team and plays violin very well in the orchestra at school and in the Emerald Coast Honors Orchestra, which is a community orchestra. I just have to say I've seen her grow personally for the past 3 years. Not many middle school teachers get that opportunity. And to watch her grow from just this shy, sweet little young lady to the eloquent, beautiful musician and athlete that she is has made me extremely happy. So we are very pleased at Ferry Pass Middle School to have Lea as our Cox Inspirational hero.
Gabriel Johnson is the hero from Global Learning Academy. Chantel Hoskins is his teacher, and she's going to tell us what makes him so special.
Good evening. You guys are looking at Gabriel Johnson. A lot of his friends like to call him Gabe. And to be quite honest, I don't want to get so emotional, but you guys are looking at a walking miracle right here. He has overcome so many obstacles. When he was born, he was told that he wasn't going to survive at all. But he's here on this stage. Every day when he walks into the classroom, there's a smile on his face. He can be hurting so much, and I wouldn't even know it at all. I would have to sometimes ask him, Gabe, are you okay? And then he'll say, yes. So he can easily disguise how he's feeling. He is liked by many of his classmates. At PE or at recess, you can see him out there playing with some of the guys in our classroom, basketball, football, and things like that. He's very helpful in the classroom, and he loves everyone. And I just want to present to you guys Global Learning Academy Cox hero, Gabriel Johnson.
Before our next hero comes to the stage, I'd like to ask numbers 21 through 30 to go ahead and make their way to the left side of the room with your presenter, please, numbers 21 through 30. And Miss Kristen and Miss Mary will get you guys lined up. Our next hero comes from Helen Cairo. It's Sara Stearns, and Monica Willis will tell us why she is their hero.
Okay, in January of 2018, Sara was in a head-on car crash that literally almost severed the right arm off of her body. After that, she went and had an emergency surgery and spent many, many months and 10 days in the hospital, many months rather than being with her friends and playing at school like other fifth graders. She was in occupational and physical therapy. She has now returned to Helen Cairo. One of her favorite things to do is draw. So when her right arm was affected, she was not able to draw or play softball or all the things that she had typically done. So now she has gained more than 80% back of use of her right arm. She now can play recess, she can draw, she can do basically anything she wants. And so she is back at Cairo this year to fulfill her fifth grade requirements. And she is our Cox Inspirational Hero.
Jason Crutchfield from Home Elementary School will now tell us why J.J. Mcbride is their hero.
As we were walking up here, he said, "You can do this, Mr. Crutchfield," so he must have sensed that I was nervous. I've had the pleasure of being Juwan Mcbride's teacher for the last 2 years. In this time, I've seen enormous growth within this young man, socially, emotionally, academically. He came to me as a struggling reader. He was behind and he knew it, and it was affecting his confidence. In October of 2017, we started working on Tyner families. And as of Tuesday, he has finished, over the course of his fifth grade year, he's finished the following novels: Legend of Sleepy Hollow, The Best Christmas Pageant Ever, Because of Winn-Dixie, and Tuesday he finished a book called The River, which I remind him is a book that I read when I was in 7th grade, and he's read in 5th grade. This new confidence has encouraged him to engage his peers more, to engage with other adults. He wants to tell everybody, he wants to ask everybody about transformers, on astrological signs, and how to survive in the woods. Juwan, I am so glad that I've been able to be your teacher over the last 2 years. Without a doubt, you have made my life richer and everyone around you better. And for that, I thank you. You truly are deserving of this award.
Next to the podium is Lisa Bauer from Jim Allen Elementary School. She'll tell us why they selected Coy Jenkins as their hero.
I don't know who's more nervous, me or Coy, but we're going to get through this. Coy Jenkins is Jim Allen's inspirational hero for this year. Coy's life got off to a rocky start with his fair share of up and downs. He's faced many challenges that most students never endeavor or encounter. He was eventually adopted by his forever family. Academics has not always come easy for Coy, but his determination is second to none. He works hard, stays focused, and perseveres until he reaches his goal. He has a very positive outlook on life and displays the characteristics that set a good example for others to follow. He befriends all who cross his path, and he's kind-hearted. His kind heart is a welcome asset to our classroom. I'm excited to see all he will accomplish in his life, and I'm proud to name Coy Jenkins as Jim Allen's Cox Inspirational Hero.
Jim Bailey Middle School's Janet Penrose will now introduce us to their hero, Roy Pettaway.
Hello, everyone. Roy Pettaway is Bailey Middle School's inspirational student hero. With a smile on his face, Roy walks through the halls of Bailey. He exhibits excellence in everything he does and inspires others to be the best person that they can be. He is a fighter. Not only has Roy survived a terrible car accident and lived through the loss of his great-grandfather, who was like a father to him, he has also had to endure obstacles that his family has been faced with others over the years. These experiences do not keep him down. Roy's motto is to never let yourself become unhappy. His passion for music is inspiring. He's in band and orchestra, and he wanted to make sure everybody knew that he's been first chair viola since 6th grade. Miss Kirkland, Roy's orchestra teacher, states, "Roy is the reason I get up every day to teach." Roy wants to pursue a degree in music and one day become either a music teacher or an orchestra director. We are so proud of his accomplishments and wish him the best of luck as he moves on to high school. Roy Petaway.
Lea Rin Khan from Kingsfield Elementary School is their first ever Cox hero. Kristen Love is going to tell us why.
I'm so honored to brag about Leonardo Rin Khan today. I've been blessed to have Leo in my class for the past 2 years, and for the past 2 years, he has made me smile and laugh each and every day. The first thing you should know about Leo is Leo loves the ladies, and the ladies love Leo. He can be seen throughout the day winking, hugging, and waving at school volunteers, staff, and classmates, even people he's never met. He is friendly and welcoming to everyone. I can honestly say I've never had to ask a student to stop laughing until Leo. He finds joy and happiness in each day. Leo is positive and happy in all circumstances and faces each challenge and task with a smile. Leo has faced many communication, social, and academic struggles associated with autism spectrum disorder, but through it all, Leo smiles. During group work, when faced with a challenging task or activity, Leo often looks at me and asks, "Are you crazy?" In which I always respond, "Yes, I am." We laugh and then he gets to work. He is ready to tackle the challenge set before him. Leo lives life each day with kindness, gentleness, love, and happiness. There's no doubt that Leo was created to spread love wherever he goes. Kingsfield Elementary is proud to call Leonardo Rin Khan our first Cox hero.
Lakeview School's Sherry King will now introduce us to their hero, Ani Collette.
I'm at that age. Ani is a strong and positive person. She has a wonderful sense of humor and loves to make people laugh. She approaches life with a sense of playfulness and wonder. Ani is a characteristically cheerful individual. She's a gifted artist who would like to pursue a career in computer sciences. She uses her art as a means of creative self-expression and as a path to reach others by sharing her gift. Ani has developed into a positive and engaging young woman who never gives up. She faces adversity with dignity and grace. She approaches challenges with vigor and attempts every task with enthusiasm and courage. Ani is currently maintaining a 3.0 GPA in school. She has independently completed courses online ahead of schedule and asked for more classes to increase her standing and opportunities. She is working to achieve her goals in life and is becoming an unstoppable force. Ani has become a role model for other students at our school, drawing on her own experiences and past difficulties. She demonstrates empathy and positive role modeling for students who are struggling to assimilate into the school setting and helps them navigate the maze of high school experience. She's a cheerleader for her fellow students and steps out of her own comfort zone to initiate interaction with those who feel left out. And that's why we're proud to have Ani Collette as our Cox Hero of the Year for School Day Support at Lakeview this year.
Jamarcus Mckay is Lincoln Park's hero, and Rosalind Lee is going to share his story.
It is with great pleasure that Lincoln Park Elementary School nominate Jamarcus Mckay for our 2019 Inspirational Cox Student Award. Although Jamarcus is no longer a student at our school, we felt that he was most deserving of this award, and I'm speaking on behalf of both of his teachers, Ms. Lambert and Ms. Hossman. Jamarcus has faced various adversities in his young life and has done so in a spirit of determination and tenacity. It has been a humbling experience to be in the presence of this young man as he has struggled through behavioral issues, homelessness, and academic failure. When Jamarcus first joined us, he was placed in eye care, a behavioral unit for students who exhibit extreme behaviors that aren't conducive to a typical classroom environment. Eventually, he was able to transition from that program back to a traditional classroom setting. He still experienced some ups and downs, but overall, he was able to fit right in. During class discussions, he would have some of the most insightful comments to add to the conversations. He would often say something wise or witty and tell us that he got it from his grandma. You could tell by his nature and demeanor that even though he and his family were dealing with some unconventional situations, he was loved. Recently, he has had to endure the traumatic loss of his mother, and after this ordeal, he returned to school quiet and laser focused on his schoolwork and being a good student because he knew that that was what his mom would have wanted. The students and teachers rallied around him in an effort to help him find his new normal. Despite it all, we have been amazed by his will and perseverance. We are very proud of him and wish him the best in all of his endeavors. For these reasons, Jamarcus Mckay is the inspirational student for Lincoln Park Elementary School.
Lipscomb Elementary School is next to the stage. Cherith Welter will tell us why Ronan Potter is their hero.
Good afternoon. My name is Sherry Welter, and I've had the privilege of being Ronan's teacher for the last 2.5 years. Our committee selected Ronan for several reasons, but the most predominant reason is his academic gains. When Ronan first started school, he had some really rough years. He was having lots of difficulty transitioning into school and being successful. Teachers didn't understand Ronan, and Ronan was really having a hard time getting himself understood by them. So Ronan arrived in my classroom struggling with his ability to read, struggling with his self-confidence, and just really trying very hard to make himself expressed and make his needs known. After a few months, Ronan settled into our classroom, but we still had a lot of difficulty trying to figure out how to decode and how to read. Those situations became very stressful for Ronan, but he persevered. We tried many different ways, everyone you can imagine, to try and crack the code on how to teach Ronan to read. We tried AACs, we tried every reading method, and still we were unsuccessful. It wasn't until I decided to try something very unique. I tried to teach Ronan how to read as if he couldn't hear, and suddenly we found the key on opening Ronan's door. Unlocking that door on learning how to read not only unlocked a great big huge world for Ronan from an academic point of view, but it also allowed him to blossom into a self-confident and charming young man. He is gone from being more reserved to being able to participate actively in musicals, to interact with anybody that he meets, to joke, and to become a tremendous joy in our classroom. Now, a side benefit of all of this amazing productivity that we've had with reading and math and all of those other wonderful things is his ability to be able to communicate. See, before this time, Ronan was not very easily understood. That's why we had an AAC. And now, everyone understands Ronan. So he not only was able to gain an academic life, but a social life as well. During all of this time, Ronan never gave up. He always gave his best effort, he always tried hard, and he always stepped up to that reading table every day, believing that this was the day he was going to make it, and he has. So for these reasons, we decided that we were going to select Ronan as our Cox hero. Watching him blossom has been like watching a monarch butterfly escape from a chrysalis. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to ask numbers 31 through 40 to go ahead and line up on the left side of the room with your presenter, please. Numbers 31 through 40. Diamond Jenkins is the hero from Longleaf Elementary School. Nicole Everett is going to tell us his story.
Good evening, everyone. I am honored to speak on behalf of our very special Diamond Jenkins. Unfortunately, she was not able to attend tonight. She is doing another duty. She is babysitting for her new 3-week-old sibling. And her teacher was also not able to come, so on behalf of both of them, I am here. Diamond is truly an inspiration to all of her teachers and peers, and I wish you were standing here on the stage looking back at you, so please take a moment to look at her sweet face in your book. From the moment she walks into school every day, she has a positive attitude and a smile on her face. She absolutely never meets a stranger. She befriends everyone she meets. When I have the opportunity to data chat with Diamond, she is always eager to talk about what she knew and what she had learned from the last test she had taken, and always wants to do better. Diamond's mother unexpectedly passed away at the beginning of this school year, which resulted in some, as you would assume, major life changes for her and her family. We are so glad that her godmother, Zykeria, is in her life. She has truly been a blessing. Diamond is absolutely determined to be the best student she can be, and she works hard day in and day out in honor of her mother's memory. We are proud of Diamond's accomplishments, and she is certainly not only Cox Inspirational Hero, but Longleaf's very own hero.
MacArthur Elementary School selected James Sylvester as their hero. Michelle Simmons will share more.
Hello, I'm Michelle Simmons, and I teach James 5th grade English and language, and so on behalf of me and his math teacher, we are really proud of him. He is an exemplary student. He is always positive and there to lend a helping hand whenever we need it, whoever needs it. James was chosen to be a part of the MacArthur Safety Patrol. This honor is for the best of the best at our school, and it's an honor that he's extremely proud of, and so are we. These students are seen as role models to all the younger students in the school. Both adults and students love to be in his company. James has a learning disability and has experienced difficulty in his personal life. But you would never know that due to his hard work and perseverance. He faces challenges head on and with a smile. Throughout this school year, James has continually shown growth in all subject areas. James is truly a model student who is paving his path to a successful life, and that is why we are so honored at MacArthur Elementary to have James as our Cox hero.
Stephanie Gilmore from Molino Park will tell us why Ariana Smith is their hero.
Hi, it is my pleasure to introduce you to Ariana Smith, Molino Park's Cox hero. I met Ariana 2 years ago when she entered my classroom for the enrichment program. I knew immediately that her hard work ethic was evident. She was a leader amongst her peers. Her smile was infectious for everyone in the room. Little did I know the hardships and traumas she had faced earlier in life. As I learned more about Ariana, she really did become my hero. Ariana was born with chronic hearing problems. Through surgery, she lost hearing in one of her ears. This led to severe language problems that she still works diligently to overcome. When Ariana was a small child, around the age of 5, her family home was flooded and she lost everything in it. On top of that, and struggling in school, she had a traumatic event happen in her life, which required her to do things that most adults should not have to endure. Ariana has not let any of these things stop her or prevent her from reaching her goals. She aspires to do great things, and she will do great things. For these reasons, I am proud to announce Ariana Smith as Molino Park's Cox hero.
Myrtle Grove Elementary School said Eric Denard is their hero. Colleen Van Dusen tells us his story.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Eric Denard's 5th grade ESE reading teacher from Myrtle Grove Elementary, and I have the honor of introducing you to Eric Denard. Eric came to us 2 years ago from River Oaks Elementary in Harrison County, Mississippi. He is a hard-working, dedicated student who is always willing to help others. He has a positive attitude, and his mom says, when Eric is committed to something, he gives it his all. Well, that's true. Since coming to us, he has committed himself to doing his best in school. He looks at his learning disability in reading and his ADHD diagnosis as a challenge that he can live with successfully. And you know what? He's doing it. He's completing grade level work with support in all subject areas. He excels in math, his favorite subject, has made honorable Student of the Month, and is learning to play the violin. Oh, and did I mention that he's a gifted runner? This kid, believe it or not, during his 2 years at Myrtle Grove Elementary School, this is from Coach Robertson, his running coach who's here, said that Eric Denard has been an integral part of the Myrtle Grove Running Club and race team. Eric has participated in numerous 5K and 1 mile races held in the Pensacola area and frequently finishes first in his age division and has, on occasion, won races in which he competed against adults. His time of 24:17 seconds for the 3.1 mile race stands as the all-time record for Myrtle Grove Elementary School. Eric has the rare combination of talent, focus, and work ethic which propels him to the top level of the youth running community. Great things lie ahead for Eric Denard. Congratulations, Eric, our Cox hero.
Ava Nelson was selected the hero from NB Cook, and Ms. Pierce is going to tell us more.
NB Cook Elementary School is proud to call Ava Nelson our Cox hero. Ava has experienced hearing loss over the years, resulting in moderate to severe permanent hearing loss. However, not one to be deterred in drive or spirit, Ava has continued to be an enthusiastic learner who is absolutely adored by all of her teachers and peers. Ava has a playful sense of humor and is always positive with a willingness to learn. She is kind, willing to help others, and does not let her hearing loss limit her participation in any activities. Not only does she achieve, she excels. She maintains AB honor roll and is eager to share her knowledge of her amplification equipment with her peers. She's learning to advocate for herself and has excelled at that this year. She even formed a lunch club that sits separately from the rest of the class so she can enjoy a social lunch with peers, and her fellow students, her teacher tells me, argue over who gets to sit with her. Ava Nelson, friend, student, teacher, advocate, a true NB Cook star, we are proud to call our Cox hero.
Navy Point Elementary School's Ariana Seymour is our next hero. Lisa Gutierrez and Sheena Soleil, share her story.
We have had the privilege of being Ariana's teacher this year. When choosing a nominee for this award, Ariana was an obvious choice for us and staff who have known her for years. Ariana has grown tremendously over the time at Navy Point, and it has been a real gift to be witness to that growth. Ariana has overcome her language and social obstacles by recognizing it as a challenge that is surmountable and a chance to embrace being different. She has impressively learned to advocate for herself, is willing to try new strategies, and embraces social interaction.
The nature of her language impairment and social challenges affected her academics. She has overcome this by being recognized for honor roll, high test scores, exemplary student work, and enthusiasm for learning. She is a role model for her siblings and peers. Overall, Ariana has learned the importance of speaking up for herself, having a positive attitude, and working hard to be successful. We could not be more proud to introduce Ariana to you today.
Northview High School's Cade Allen is next. Raja Atala shares why he is their hero.
Well, good evening. It's my pleasure to introduce Cade Allen, Northview's Cox hero. Cade has overcome major adversity over the last couple of years. Cade was a star athlete and had everything going for him. He had a life-altering event which required him to relearn many of the simple things that we take for granted. He had to relearn how to walk, talk, along with the ability to see. These were some of the challenges he had to overcome. Throughout his recovery, he maintained a positive attitude. This year, Cade will be graduating, and despite the many obstacles, with his resilience, he is able to maintain a GPA above 3.0. Cade plans to attend the University of West Florida to become a physical therapy technician. He wants to use what he learns to help others with disability. It is my honor to present Northview's Cox hero, Cade Allen.
O.J. Sims Elementary School's Connor Roper is our next hero. Stuart East is going to share his story.
Good evening. My name is Stuart East. This is Udana Lobley, and we put our heads together to answer the question, who is Connor Roper? Connor Roper is a quiet student leader who inspires others by his discreet example of gritty determination. He is bright, athletic, good-natured, and yet humble and clever with a quick wit. Connor's attitude toward life is one of unobtrusive observation and resolute coherence. He embraces challenges with out-of-the-box thinking. With ears perked and eyes widened, Connor looks for innovative solutions and gravitates toward gaining knowledge and information. Connor has continued to have great personal success in working independently in 5th grade at O.J. Sims Elementary due to his advanced learning in both science and mathematics. Connor has recently been identified as gifted and continues to perform at the above average or expert level on district exams. His math FSA score last year was nearly perfect, only missing one question. Connor maintains top-notch grades and is an avid learner who is in constant pursuit of gaining new knowledge and solving upper-level math problems. Despite Connor's above-average IQ, his frequent moves, enrollment in over 9 schools since kindergarten, and challenges resulted in a less-than-perfect performance on his first FSA in 3rd grade. Connor repeated, yet he has found the fortitude not to let this circumstance get in the way of his learning and studentship. He has continued to blossom, in fact thrive, at our academic selling here at O.J. Sims during the past 2 years. Even with challenging circumstances, he has sought to keep his family upbeat and on track as their reality provided obstacles. Connor always finds a way to share his joy with a quick smile, a sly wit, and a friendly pat on the back to get others motivated. He is always willing to lend a helping hand to a classmate. Connor is an exemplary young man with a good heart. Connor inspires those around him, including teachers and staff. We are proud to call him our Cox Inspirational Hero of the Year. Connor Roper.
Eva Williams from Oakcrest Elementary School will introduce us to our next hero, Nick Spencer.
As a Title I school, most of our students at Oakcrest Elementary face challenges every day that you and I can only imagine. However, our Cox hero faces those daily challenges with a smile and a big bear hug, and I get them, regardless of how he may be feeling. Nicholas Spencer is genuinely the happiest and most engaged student at our school. His positive attitude and perseverance has allowed Nicholas to take charge of his own success despite the challenges he may have faced. Among those challenges is the fact that Nicholas has had to work very hard to catch up academically with his peers. When he was younger, Nicholas struggled in school and received ESE services to help him with certain learning difficulties. However, through his hard work and determination, Nicholas has overcome most of those challenges. We are proud to share that Nicholas now performs above grade level in both reading and math. When Nicholas could have given up or felt sorry for himself, instead he chose to work even harder and smarter. And despite the odds, he has been successful. Because of this, Nicholas set an example for his classmates and, to be honest, his teachers as well. Nicholas, no student deserves this award as much as you. We are here tonight to celebrate your success, and we want you to know how very proud we are of you.
All right, and finally, I'd like to ask number 41 through number 52 to line up on the left side wall. Numbers 41 through 52, so basically if you haven't gone yet, you can go ahead and line up on the left side wall. And Miss Kristen and Miss Mary will get you in order. Eve Warnock from the Pace Center for Girls is next on our list. Katie Remus will tell us why she is their hero.
Hello. Eve was adopted when she was 4 years old, and life led her to choosing the wrong people to be friends with, which led to poor choices. Eve's adopted parents became frustrated with her and essentially gave up on her. Her sister took guardianship, and since Eve has changed her life. Eve is a bright and caring young woman. She works hard in class every day, attends school regularly, and interacts with her peers in a positive manner. She has overcome some major adversity to get to where she is, and has proven to be a survivor and a positive role model for her daughter.
Chris Bush was named the hero of Pine Forest High School. Latasha Magruder tells us what makes him their hero.
Good evening. Christopher Bush is a student who has risen above his personal barriers to embrace the challenges of engaging with highly social and academically successful students in the unfamiliar territory of student government. Chris is an amazing young man. He is always smiling. He engages with the student body without feelings of inferiority and does his best to make others comfortable. He challenges others to do their best and motivates students to participate in school activities. Although he had concerns about running for office as an SGA senator, he did not let his fears stop his determination to be a part of something that would bring an extra dimension to his high school experience. When Chris decided to run for office as SGA senator, he knew it would be a challenge. However, after watching the former SGA president walk the halls with his suit and briefcase, Chris knew he wanted to experience what was happening in that organization and contribute to the school in such a substantial way. He set aside his social anxieties and ran for office. Not only did he win the election, but he won over his peers in SGA. Chris has taken his experience and he uses it to help others overcome their fears and emotional upsets. When Chris sees that someone is upset, he is the first one to ask them if he can help in any way. He talks to them about his own challenges and tells them to stay positive and hopeful. His concern for others is almost tangible, and it brings another dimension to the Pine Forest High School SGA experience. Unfortunately, Christopher was not able to be here with us tonight, but Pine Forest is still proud to announce Christopher Bush as our Cox hero.
Terry Fina from Pine Meadow Elementary School tells us why Nicholas Fayard is their hero.
Good evening. Pine Meadow is proud to have Nicholas Fayard as our Cox hero. Nicholas is a delightful student who's overcome several challenges that would give cause for any other student to give up. In previous years, he's had several issues, including some health concerns, that required him to receive special assistance. Despite these challenges, he has never been deterred from meeting his goals in school. In fact, this past school year, he's been very successful with no assistance at all. Nicholas is always positive and friendly, willing to work hard in all situations. He's gone from a shy, quiet student to a boisterous leader in his class who's respectful to teachers and classmates alike. Nicholas is the type of student every teacher would love to have. He's a bright spot in each and every one of his teachers' days with his action and his comments. As a matter of fact, he was heard telling one teacher, "That was the best lesson ever. I don't know what you can do tomorrow that would be better." Nicholas Bayard is Pine Meadows Elementary's Cox hero.
Pleasant Grove Elementary School's Shyla Williams is our next hero. Megan Holliday is going to tell us more.
Good afternoon. I'm Megan Holliday. I'm Shyla's 5th grade gifted cluster teacher at Pleasant Grove Elementary. And before I start talking about my girl, I just want to say how in awe and inspired I am of every student who's been presented tonight, and it makes me very proud to be a part of Escambia County School District. So, Shyla is an enthusiastic and resilient young lady. Her personality, smile, and laugh are infectious. She brightens the day of every person she comes in contact with, and I am proud to call her my student. Shyla has a positive and optimistic outlook on every situation she encounters. She always tries to put others before herself and make sure everyone feels comfortable, loved, and happy. Shyla is an honor roll student at PGE. She is also an active member in our school's drama club. No matter the situation, she maintains her grades, completes all of her projects, and still has found time to star in the school play. After coping and adapting to a new way of life with the separation of her parents, Shyla tragically lost her father in a car accident a few months ago. Being Shyla, she came back to school the next day with her effervescent personality. She was actually consoling the adults who were crying instead of the other way around. I watched as she gave a speech at her father's funeral that lifted the spirits of everyone in attendance. She continues to live each day with a bubbly personality that she knows will make her father proud and continues to make us proud. I don't think there's anyone better to represent Pleasant Grove Elementary than Shyla Williams.
Mia Portis from Ransom Middle School is our next honoree. Sara Bonner will tell her story.
Good evening. Mia, as you can all see, is a very, very beautiful, sweet, and kind young lady who is currently a 7th grader at Ransom Middle School. She is warm, friendly, and always willing to lend a helping hand to fellow students. She also eagerly goes the extra mile when it comes to her schoolwork and commitments. Her kind nature and giving spirit are the bedrock upon which her strength is derived. She is cheerful and thoughtful and does not mind prioritizing others before herself. One hidden attribute, though publicly displayed, is her smile. Her smile gently embraces all whom she meets. These numerous qualities contribute to the uniqueness of her individuality, and she is an inspiration to countless students and adults comparably. When asked about Mia as a student, her teachers' responses were prompt and consistent. One teacher said that she is a blessing to have in class. She is supportive of her classmates, and she encourages them. She never hesitates to help them if they do not understand an assignment or concept. Another teacher discussed Mia's work ethic for herself and her helpfulness with other students who were around her who may be struggling. She shows patience with them, and never once does she show any frustration, stated the teacher. Finally, another teacher talked about her positivity and her ability to be a role model to her peers daily. Mia is well liked and adored by her teachers, deservedly so. She embodies all of the attributes of a model student. She maintains an AB honor roll average, usually garnering more A's than B's. She's always present in school unless there is some type of emergency or a reason for an excused absence, and she has never, ever been a discipline problem. Additionally, she is very kind and patient to everyone she meets. In the midst of a very personal loss, she continued to exhibit her kindness and concern for her teammates in school by fulfilling her duties in school by both participating and attending. Displaying this kind of student success and commitment is what endears her to her peers and teachers alike. Her teachers state that she has shown perseverance through a very difficult time. Earlier in the school year, her father died suddenly. Even through this adversity, she continued to interact with her classmates, stay on track with her education, and stay involved with her extracurricular activities. Her smile continues to grow brighter each day. Her teachers say that they know she still must be struggling and dealing with that loss, but she continues to persevere and is still a positive role model for all around her. She continues to be supportive of her classmates, encouraging and helping them, and she always looks to find a way or an opportunity where she can be helpful. She's just a wonderful human being who happens to be wrapped in the body of a student. As I told you earlier, when I asked her teachers to write, I'm her guidance counselor, so I've been following her since 6th grade, and I follow her all the way through 8th. But when they were asked to write about her, their responses were phenomenal. They all had the same assessment. She is strong, capable, sweet, friendly, caring, helpful, beautiful, and an absolute joy to work with in class. I proudly salute her as Ransom Middle School's Cox Hero 2019.
Scenic Heights Elementary School's Zamina Harper will now be introduced by Amber Hyder.
Good evening. I'm Amber Hyder, and I have been lucky enough to have Zamina in my 3rd grade class this year. Every day, Zamina arrives to school with a great big smile, ready to face any challenge ahead of her. She brightens up any room she enters and is a friend to all. Zamina makes sure everyone feels included, whether it is working in a small group in class or during her free time at recess. When a new student joined our class, Zamina quickly showed her the ropes and welcomed her into our classroom. The two are now inseparable. Zamina has endured several surgeries and challenges due to burns she received in a house fire at a very young age. She has never let the scars stop her from making a new friend or participating in anything. Zamina is truly an inspiration and can remind all of us that we are strong and can overcome anything. We are proud to say that Zamina is our Scenic Heights Cox student hero.
Sherwood Elementary School's Nathan Horn is our next hero. Rihanna Wages tells us his story.
He said, "Please, Miss Wages, please don't cry." I would never. Nathan began his 5th grade year with a hoodie on his head and his head on his desk. He was very hesitant to participate in any classroom activity, including art and PE. If you flip to the last page in our booklet, you can see how thrilled Nathan really was about school. Once the 2nd quarter began, he made a life-changing decision to take part in our classroom community. His grades and attitude on school have improved tremendously. Even though he is still battling and overcoming obstacles every day, he remains positive with a smile on his face. I witnessed Nathan's transformation inside and outside of this classroom. Keep up the hard work. You can honestly do anything. Even pass the last FSA science test tomorrow.
Zeek Goodwin is Tate's hero. To explain why is Sydney Wilkerson.
Hey, I have to echo Pleasant Grove earlier. It's a pleasure to be in a room with such a special group of people. Tonight I get the pleasure of introducing Zeek Goodwin to you. He is a senior over at Tate High School, and what an incredible young man with a great set of parents who are incredibly involved in just a Tate part of the Tate community. Zeek is graduating us with a 3.6 GPA. He started off maybe a little less refined and polished as he presents himself to look right now. I think the word was used professional here a few minutes ago, but he is exactly that. If there was a profession to be a student, he would receive an A+++. We are thankful to have him. He laughs at my terrible jokes. He continues to make us smile. He just is the role model of a student. At high school, it's extremely hard to make the right choices and to be the role model. And so I'm super sad to have him leave us this year because he has served as our role model to our other students. More than anything else, Zeek continues to raise the bar for himself, and I know that's part of the guidance he has at home, but it's also an individual choice. When we started looking at what his schedule was going to be like at the end of his sophomore year, I said, okay, we have to plan with the end in mind. What do you want your senior year to look like? And he said, I have an idea. I said, okay, on-the-job training, awesome, we're gonna go work. He said, yeah, that sounds good. I said, oh, you don't wanna do that? He goes, well, I don't know. I said, okay, you're going to be on campus. You want some electives? He goes, no, it's not that either. So then what is it? He goes, I think I want to do welding. I said, oh, welding. Okay. So like Georgetown? He said, yeah. I said, okay, let's do it. So fast forward to senior year, he's over at Georgetown, dual enrolled, taking a lot of tests and reading, which has been one of his personal struggles. He asked for a reading class his junior year. He asked for 2 math classes junior year, and he was super ready and involved to go to Georgetown, where he had to complete a series of 20 tests in order to get into the classroom. So after first attempt at the 20 tests, he needed a little extra assistance, and then went back to complete 20 tests in 2 days with additional assistance, passed them all, and made his way into the classroom. So Zeek is going to be deferring his diploma to continue Georgetown next year, and he will be our first student to do that at Tate High School. So Zeek Goodwin.
Tim Rose from Warrington Elementary School will now tell us about their hero, Kimani Brown.
Warrington Elementary's motto this year is better and brighter every day, and Kimani lives that. She has embodied that motto. Kimani's a lovely 4th grade student who has improved academically and behaviorally this year. Although she's had some academic challenges, she continues to push herself to attempt all assignments given, and she relishes in seeking appropriate classroom support. Kimani was asked to write a letter at the beginning of the year with her classmates to her teacher, letting her know something about herself that might be useful. Kimani wrote, "What I want you to know about me is that I lose my patience really fast, and I shut off if I get mad. But I'm a role model just like the other people, and I'm brave." Kimani's teacher described how in the beginning of the school year, she had to be careful where she placed other students being next to Kimani, because sometimes Kimani could cause some problems. As the year progressed, her attitude towards herself and others has helped her be more conscientious of her learning and those around her, and she now has a more positive attitude about school and herself. Kimani's willingness to allow others to see her academic and social challenges has allowed her to embrace learning through active collaboration with her peers, and also heightened her willingness to accept and learn from her mistakes. This year, she was even one of our members of the Science Olympiad team. Warrington Elementary is proud to recognize Kimani Brown as our Cox hero this year.
Caleb Hart is Warrington Middle School's hero. Marlena Lewis is going to tell us more.
Good evening. My name is Marlena Lewis, 7th grade civics teacher at Warrington Middle School. I'm here to present the Cox Hero Award to Mr. Caleb Hart. Caleb Hart is a student that any teacher would absolutely love. He comes to school ready to learn every single day. Despite having processing limitations and some speech and language issues, Caleb strives every day to give 100% in everything he does. Caleb has a positive disposition that definitely rubs off on his peers. He is a young man of integrity who values honesty as well as a strong sense of right and wrong. Caleb has always looked up to and learned these attributes from his father, Alan Hart, whom I had the pleasure to meet during our back-to-school night at the beginning of the school year. While many of us in this room were enjoying our Thanksgiving holiday festivities and reflecting on all the blessings that we have in our lives, Caleb was having to come to terms with a stark new reality. You see, on Thanksgiving Day, Caleb's father tragically passed away. As a retired member of the United States Marine Corps, Mr. Hart always told Caleb to never allow anything to stand in his way. And in the words of a song from Caleb's favorite music group, Journey, "Don't stop believing. I'll stop there. While this life-changing circumstance would completely shake up a child's life, Caleb has taken this loss with stride and did not experience a reduction in his school grades nor any type of regression in his behavior. Despite very unfortunate circumstances this year, Caleb continues to be an inspiration not only to his peers, but to everyone who comes into contact with him. It is my distinct honor to present the Warrington Middle School Cox Hero, Caleb Hart.
Jalen Moore is the hero from Washington High School. Samantha Wilkerson will tell us what makes this Wildcat so special.
Good evening. In my opinion, a person's true character is shown how they treat others when no one's watching and how they treat those who can do nothing for them. Jalen is the type of person who sees a need and meets a need. He doesn't do it for attention or praise, but because he knows it's the right thing to do. He doesn't help others to gain anything in return, but out of the goodness of his heart, which speaks volumes about his character and why I thought he would be the perfect recipient of this award. I have personally observed Jalen assist struggling students in the classroom, and I also spoke with his OJT coordinator about his time on the job at the nursing home. To no surprise, Jalen's selflessness and helpful qualities shine through across all settings. In order to meet the criteria for this Cox Hero Award, a student must have also overcome personal challenges and educational obstacles. This very much applies to Jalen. Despite the difficulties that have been thrown his way, Jalen have always put others before himself and is the true definition of a role model.
Chris Lee was selected the hero of West Florida High School. Sheena Payne is going to tell us why.
Good afternoon, almost evening. Christopher Lee, or Chris, is a funny, smart, and helpful senior at West Florida High School. He is part of the Cox Academy and will graduate this on May 29th, which is in just a few more weeks. Each year, we remind students at West Florida that our goal for them is to leave with strong options, choices, and resources. Chris has set himself up to do just that. He maintains at least a 3.0 in everything he does and has worked very hard to build his self-advocacy skills that have not only made him successful in the classroom, but will ensure his success in any post-secondary endeavors. Chris came into West Florida, and I knew him when he arrived. Chris's attention to his academics earned him a 5 in the 9th grade on his algebra EOC as a freshman, and then a 4 on his geometry EOC in the 10th grade. Chris has a pure business attitude with caring attributes as well. He's always the first to try to assist other students when in need of information. One thing that can be quickly recognized is his ability to approach his education as a professional responsibility. Chris has overcome many barriers as he prepares to exit high school, but Chris has been able to build on personal relationships through conversation and a willingness to assist. He often offers reminders and can give you teacher responses that other students might have forgotten. Naturally, his peers have taken to him as his faculty has done the same, and he is truly an inspiration. If ever there were a student who could embody the spirit of the Cox Inspirational Hero Award, Mr. Lee, it is you. Thank you so much.
Janet Andrickson is here from West Pensacola Elementary School to tell us why Zachary Cruson is their hero.
Good evening. Zachary returned to West Pensacola this school year. At the beginning of this year, I would only hear Zachary say, "I can't." And he kept to himself. Throughout the year, I have seen Zachary grow in his confidence. He has taken every challenge I have asked of our class and taken an excellent attitude towards everything I ask him to do. He is a positive role model in our school. He reads 8 to 10 books a week and is a top mathematician in our class. I no longer hear Zachary say he can't. He has done his best and now he can. His classmates look up to Zachary and want to be like him. It has been a blessing to have Zachary in my class. I am proud to present Zachary Cruzen as West Pensacola's Cox Inspirational Hero.
Our final hero of 2019 comes from Workman Middle School. Millie Sessions will tell us why Jorge Gomez is the Jaguars' hero.
Good evening. Jorge Gomez has overcome adversity in his young life. His excellent work ethic and reflection of his attitude and effort are mind-blowing. It has been a pleasure to work with this student, and every teacher agrees with us. Jorge is a very responsible, motivated, and passionate student. He works hard not only on himself, but to help his peers as well. Jorge actively participated in the Fall Festival, the TESOL Conference, where he sang a cappella because the music went dead on him, and was a reading buddy for a home elementary school student this year. Jorge is a cooperative leader and a bright student. He tutors his peers in math and is always looking for opportunities to be helpful. Jorge is a true representation of our Jaguar mantra, which is real. He's respectful, he's eager to learn, and he's accountable, and most of all, he is loyal. He's loyal to his family, first and foremost, and he's loyal to his faculty and his fellow students. I am honored to present Jorge as our Cox hero, and I've known him since 6th grade, so I'm kind of touched because now he's an 8th grader and he is leaving us, so thank you very much.
Congratulations, Jorge, and congratulations to all of our students. Let's give them another round of applause. Before we close, I would like to encourage all the school officials here today to recognize these students in your schools. Recognize them on morning announcements, in your newsletter, on your marquee, or however you see fit. I would like to thank the government officials once again for coming today. We really appreciate your attendance and helping us support and recognize these wonderful children. That concludes our ceremony today. I would ask that all the students who received recognition please come forward to the stage, and we're going to take a group shot. We're going to move the podium out of the way and take a group picture. So that concludes the 2019 event. Thank you so very much.